Hey guys, it's Crystal, and as you guys probably already know, there is new MacBook Pros in town, and I just got my new one. Everybody's going crazy about that 6-core i9 15-inch MacBook Pro, but I just got the base model 13-inch one. And you may be wondering, why? Why did you get a base model 13-inch? Well, I wanted to see how it holds up against my current laptop, which is a 15-inch laptop from 2016, fully spec'd out. And shout out to D-Brand for the beautiful yellow skin. It looks so good. Like, I literally have it on everything right now because I just can't get enough. Make sure you check out that link to D-Brand skins in the description below to make your tech look cool. But yes, this 13-inch MacBook, guys, I am all about this. I always see people using 13-inch MacBooks, and it makes me want to try it out because I've had a 15-inch one for so long, and these 13-inch ones, they're just so nice and small. They're easier to travel with and take around with you. So why not? Why not change it up a little bit? But before I do any type of switch or change, I want to see if it's even worth it and how much will I be potentially sacrificing in terms of performance and speed. Now, there's a ton of people testing out these new MacBooks with some great, incredible tests, but I want to see for myself specifically how this 13-inch that's now quad-core with an i5 processor at base pricing, how that holds up to my quad-core i7 15-inch from 2016. But before we get into those very specific tests that will truly help me determine if I should even consider this, besides performance and internal specs, there's a couple other things here that are new with the new MacBook Pros. So first thing that's new is the keyboard. It's more quiet and less sticky. I actually do have keyboard problems with my 15-inch, like my 1 gets stuck all the time and my space bar, and that's just because it's easy for dust and little things to get stuck in there the way that those MacBooks are designed. I mean, a lot of people don't even have that problem, but some do. So these new MacBooks, they have a protective lining underneath the keys to prevent that from happening more, which also makes them quieter. I mean, they feel pretty much the same. They're slightly better and slightly quieter. There's also now True Tone display with these new MacBooks, just like on iPads and iPhones. But I'm never gonna be using it on my MacBook just because with True Tone display, the screen's color temperature, it changes and adapts to the lighting that you're in and the lighting around you, which is cool if you use your laptop more casually, just like for browsing online or everyday things, but not so cool for video and photo editing because it'll mess up with your color. So yeah, I'm never gonna use it, but it's still a nice added feature and it's cool to have. And there's a couple other new things like a bigger battery. There's also Apple's new T2 chip inside, which brings benefits for encrypt storage and secure boot capabilities. It even makes the FaceTime camera better, which is cool. But besides that, it's the same looking laptop and all the fun is on the inside, which is really exciting to me because if this 13-inch can handle what I do every day on my 15-inch, if it can handle it well enough, then I would highly consider using it as an everyday laptop. So let's move on to those tests, which I did a couple times each just to make sure the results were consistent. Starting with Geekbench, both the single core and multi-core scores were higher in the new MacBook Pro at 4,696 for single core and 16,979 for multi-core, which is already really impressive. Like, I know it's not super different, but it's cool to see with the 13-inch MacBook Pro. And for the next test, of course, some Final Cut Pro action. I created a 6-minute 4K timeline with footage from my A7 III. I threw some music in there and colored it up a little bit, exported as H.264, and it was faster on my old 15-inch MacBook Pro by a little over a minute every time, which to me isn't too much of a big deal. Like, I wouldn't mind losing a minute with a smaller laptop on the go. For the next test, I usually compress my videos for YouTube, so let's put that Final Cut export into compressor and transcode it to 4K HEVC, and it was way faster on the 13-inch by almost 8 minutes. It's actually pretty crazy and just goes to show that these new 13-inch MacBooks, even with less powerful internals compared to some old ones, they're optimized really well. Like this little baby 13-inch really beat up my 15-inch MacBook here. I also edit a lot of pictures on here, so let's do a quick Lightroom test, importing 100 raw files. And new MacBook is slightly ahead once again, not by much, but it's holding up so well. After that, while still in Lightroom, I exported these pictures as JPEGs, and 2018 beats the 2016 again, consistently exporting faster by 15 to 20 seconds every time I did this test. So I guess that proves that I can switch to this and I wouldn't be sacrificing anything. Like the only thing that would really affect me is the Final Cut exports being slightly slower, but that's barely an inconvenience. Like everything else was actually even faster, which I was totally not expecting. I mean, even just using this laptop the past couple days, it just feels smoother. Might be all in my head and it hasn't been that long, but it feels smoother. The pricing is pretty decent on these two. I did up the storage a little bit on this one to 512 gigs just because I think they'll be enough for a couple videos while traveling, but that's the only thing that I upgraded here. Everything else is baseline specs and I'm still amazed at that. Like, this little baby can handle everything I do. Now I just gotta see if I really do love using a smaller screen, but I guess we'll see in the next couple weeks. Let me know in the comments, would you guys consider doing a switch like this from 15-inch to 13-inch or to the new MacBook Pros? Let me know. And again, shout out to dbrand for the lovely yellow skin. They have so many colors and textures for your devices, so make sure you check out that link to dbrand skins in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.